The reflection. Every year, on Memorial Day, people in the United States honor soldiers who died in service. But in 2026, as global tensions rise again, an uncomfortable question returns. Are we truly honoring sacrifice, or just repeating the same mistakes? Across cities and small towns, flags are lowered, names are remembered, and silence is observed. Families gather not in celebration, but in quiet reflection. Behind every name is a story, a life interrupted, a future that never unfolded. And yet, beyond the ceremonies, the world continues to move in ways that make this remembrance feel even more urgent. Memorial Day. Memorial Day traces its origins back to the aftermath of the American Civil War, which was one of the deadliest conflicts in United States history. Originally known as Decoration Day, it began as a way for communities to honor fallen soldiers by decorating their graves with flowers. Over time, it evolved into a national day of remembrance for all military personnel who died in service to the country. It is important to understand what this day is and what it is not. It is not about military power. It is not about victory. It is about loss. Rows of white graves stretch across silent fields. Each one represents not just a soldier, but a son, a daughter, a friend. Someone who laughed, dreamed, and hoped, just like us. War doesn't just take lives, it takes futures. It is about acknowledging the human cost of conflict. The families who never saw their loved ones return, the dreams that ended on battlefields far from home, and the silence left behind. Memorial Day asks a simple but profound act: to remember. Remembrance across countries. This act of remembrance is not unique to one nation. In the United Kingdom and across the Commonwealth, Remembrance Day is observed on 11th November. People wear poppies and pause for moments of silence, honoring those lost in war. In India, Kargil Vijay Divas is marked on 26th of July, commemorating the soldiers who died in the Kargil conflict. Different countries, different histories, but a shared understanding: war leaves scars that do not fade easily. Different nations, same idea: honor the fallen. No matter the country, the uniform may change, the flag may differ, but grief speaks the same language everywhere. A mother's loss in one nation is no different from a mother's loss in another, but also remember the cost. Honor versus reality. And yet, here lies a difficult tension. In 2026, the world is again facing military uncertainty. From the Middle East to South Asia, headlines speak of rising tensions, strategic alliances, and the language of deterrence. In Eastern Europe, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to reshape lives and borders. In the Middle East, tensions involving Israel and Iran raise fears of wider escalation. In South Asia, the long-standing rivalry between India and Pakistan remains fragile, where even a small misstep could have serious consequences. And in every one of these situations, it is not leaders who stand on the front lines. It is ordinary people in uniform. Leaders talk about national interest, security, and strength. The United States, as a global power, often plays a significant role in global security through alliances, presence, or policy decisions. In 2026, its role is visible across multiple regions, from supporting Ukraine to engaging in the Middle East to influencing global security decisions. But soldiers still pay the ultimate price. In Ukraine, soldiers defend cities that no longer look like home. In the Middle East, young lives are caught in the consequences of conflict and political decisions. In every region, the people who fight are often the ones with the least power to decide. This creates a question that cannot be ignored. If nations truly value sacrifice, why do cycles of conflict continue? The answer is not simple. Modern geopolitics operates on fear, power, and calculation. Nations prepare for war not always because they want it, but because they fear the consequences of being unprepared. At the same time, political systems often reward displays of strength. Decisions are shaped by pressure, internal and external, that does not always align with long-term peace. This is not about one leader or one country. It is a pattern seen across history. And that is what makes Memorial Day in 2026 feel different. Not just a remembrance of the past, but a confrontation with the present. Are we learning? So, are we learning anything from past sacrifices? The honest answer is complicated. Yes, there has been progress. Diplomacy plays a larger role than it once did. International institutions exist to prevent escalation. Ceasefires, negotiations, and global pressure often stop conflicts from growing into something far worse. But at the same time, the pattern of conflict has not disappeared. New tensions emerge. Old rivalries resurface. The language may change, the technology may advance, but the fundamental struggles remain. History is remembered, but not always learned from. Every generation promises, never again. Yet conflict finds its way back, in new forms, under new names, but with the same human cost. Perhaps we don't repeat history exactly, but we repeat its consequences. Perhaps the issue is not memory, but interpretation. Nations remember their sacrifices, but often in ways that reinforce their own narratives, rather than challenge their decisions. And so the cycle continues, shaped by both lessons learned and lessons ignored. The road ahead. Memorial Day 2026 is not just about the past. It is a mirror held up to the present. Honoring the fallen means more than remembering their names. It means asking difficult questions about the future. Will future generations face the same losses? Will the names we honor today be joined by more tomorrow? The meaning of this day depends not only on remembrance but on reflection. Because the real tribute is not just memory, but responsibility. Responsibility to question, to think, and to strive, however imperfectly, for a world where such sacrifices become less necessary. That is the challenge of Memorial Day in 2026. And that is its enduring relevance. Thank you.